welcome. How's it going? What a beautiful evening to be standing here with you. Welcome to our kickoff of Pride season. Thank you again for coming. It's so lovely to see all of you. We're going to give a few remarks and then we have a short program for you. We're very excited to be joined later by our Attorney General, William Tong, who's been a tireless advocate for the LGBTQ plus community. So we're looking forward to his remarks. But first, we just want to talk about all the exciting things that are happening in June and beyond. We have a bunch of events that are associated with West Hartford Pride, but also Town of West Hartford is putting on some great events this summer. So I'm going to invite Barry and I'm going to invite my Pride board members to come up here and tell you a little bit about them. Before we do any of that, though, I'm going to have like a bit of a record scratch moment here, because what I should have done the very first thing is to thank my amazing board members for all the work they've done to this point to get Pride up and running, especially Barry, to build the infrastructure that carries us all forward all through June, and also the amazing volunteers who are going to be working with us all month long. So thank you ahead of time. So Barry, do you want to talk about the Pride events that are coming up?
Sure. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Happy Pride. We can say it a little louder than that. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Woohoo! All right. And before I forget, because I will, Joe mentioned volunteers. If there's anybody here who wants to volunteer, I've got a little sign-up sheet right over here, so don't be shy. All right. So what we're looking at so far, because we do still have a couple outstanding events that may be added this month, but we're beginning the month obviously with this flag raising, starting on Wednesday, May 4th, right over here at the Noah Webster branch of our library. June. What did I say? May. Sorry, a month behind. June 4th, right over here at Noah Webster. They are hosting the Connecticut Museum of History and Culture's LGBTQ history, Connecticut LGBTQ history exhibit, and that'll be there for the month. Exciting, and we thank the library for hosting that. Then on this Thursday, the 5th, over at New Park Brewing on New Park Avenue, we are having our kickoff party. Starts at 6:30. Sister Funk will be in the house to perform, and we'll also have drag shows and a DJ. Woohoo! And then on Thursday the 12th, we are doing a very special event, Tracy's Pride Ride. We do a Pride Ride every year. This year we decided that we would like to honor Dr. Tracy Wilson with something that she held dear to her heart, and that was bicycling and pride. And so we renamed our Pride Ride to Tracy's Pride Ride. That'll start out at BCCO, also on New Park Avenue. Everybody's welcome. Ride your bikes. It's going to be a 9.5-mile route. Beautiful route up Tropworth Trail, cutting over to Elizabeth Park, where everything's blooming right now, and then down to Gaster Park, where you can have some refreshments. After that, on the 20th, we have Pride Night at Playhouse on Park. They are premiering. There's a world premiere of The Baroness, which is a comedy by our friend Jacques Lamar. If anybody knows Jacques Lamar, he's very funny and he writes very funny stuff. The big day, Saturday the 21st. I know it's a long list, sorry. Stand Our Ground Pride Rally. Our theme this year is Stand Our Ground. The rally will take place on the steps of the Town Hall Auditorium, as it has in past years. We will have an assortment of speakers lined up, and after that is done, we're going to march ourselves right around the building to the festival, which is hosted and headlined this year by Heidi in Closet. That may not mean anything to anybody other than the RuPaul fans in the house. Just trust me, she's a big drag queen in the community. Finally, on Tuesday the 24th, we have All Are Welcome. All Are Welcome, inclusion of the queer community in religious spaces. That'll be a panel in which discussion of basically the intersection of being queer and trying to hold your faith, or being alienated from your faith. It's going to cover all of it. So that'll be a fantastic It was great last year, and I think it's going to be really awesome, even better this year. So that is our list of events for the month, and I don't know. There's a few other things going on.
Check the website.
I'll mention Juneteenth, which is going to be also at Town Hall, and that's the 14th. And then there's something going on this weekend. I don't know what it is.
Celebrate.
It might be Celebrate. And then I guess I'll turn it back to Joe.
Thanks, Barry. So if you didn't have your pen, if you weren't writing all of these things down, but you have access to the internet, we are in a few places. You can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, or on our website. If you just search West Hartford Pride, we'll come up and you'll have the opportunity to see all these amazing events and set reminders. Let me see. Oh, I'm really excited to welcome our next speaker. This person has been a supporter of ours for as long as we've been around, someone who really gets it and uses their role at the town to help support us in any way that he can. It's my pleasure to welcome Deputy Mayor Ben Winograd.
Thank you all. Very nice thing to say, but also, of course, I'm here because Mayor Cantor could not be here, who was the first choice. She's on vacation and sends her regrets. Also, just showing council people, Deb Poland, Deputy McGinnis are here as well. And I have here the proclamation to read. I was going to make a joke to acknowledging Attorney General Tong, but he's not here now. But I want to point out one thing. So, we're raising a flag, and there's all this talk in other towns about whether this, they're afraid to do it because it's somehow a public forum. And it's some generic thing where you do it for one, you have to do it for everybody else. That's not what we're doing here. This is not a public forum. This is not just, hey, somebody wanted to put a flag. By us raising the flag, we are saying that this is West Hartford.
Yes.
And that pride is absolutely part of West Hartford, is inherent in everything we do. And I just want to thank, again, the organizers and everyone else involved for coming out. So, whereas the town of West Hartford supports the rights of every citizen to experience equality and freedom from discrimination, and whereas Pride Month is observed every June to honor the 1969 Stonewall Uprising in Manhattan, a pivotal moment in LGBTQ plus activism and the movement for equal rights in the United States, and I did miss out to LGBTQ plus. Thank you. Said it too quick. Whereas, as a result, West Hartford's theme this year is Stand Our Ground for all people, regardless of age, gender identity, race, color, religion, marital status, national origin, sexual orientation, or physical challenges. They have the right to be treated based on the intrinsic value as human beings. And whereas we as a society are learning, understanding, and embracing diverse definitions of sexuality and gender, education and awareness remain vital to ending discrimination and prejudice. And whereas the town of West Hartford raises the pride flag representing light, healing, sun, calmness, art, and spirit here on the green in June. Now therefore be proclaimed, and this is signed by Mayor Cantor, that we hereby proclaim June 25th as Lesbian, Gay, Queer, Bisexual, and Transgender Pride Month. I call upon our community to eliminate prejudice and bias everywhere and celebrate our diversity.
Yay!
All right. Let's go higher. Actually, we'll just do it that way. I'm told it's now time for my official remarks, and I'm not sure that they're that official, but I have a few words to say, as I often do. So, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Barry Walters. We covered that. And I'm co-chair of West Hartford Pride. Welcome to the 2025 flag-raising ceremony on this beautiful day. It really is nice. I want to personally thank all of you for being here today on Unity Green. Last year, I stood here and I talked about hope. At the post-election rally, I spoke about hope and fear, how they can live together. Today, and for you Star Wars fans out there, you'll know what I'm saying. Rebellions are built on hope. Rebellion, in its simplest form, is a rejection of authority or the established system. Some of my colleagues over here might, they're probably saying right now, did he just call for a rebellion? And I want to make it clear that the answer is yes, I did. Rebellion can take many forms. It can be violent or nonviolent. I will say right now that violence is not the answer, yet. Connecticut's Attorney General, who you will hear from here shortly, has been battling in the courts with much success against a cascade of presidential executive orders. And because of his wins and his colleagues' wins in other states, the judiciary is actually now under attack and threat of a presidential power grab. Trust me, it's not that long. I just have to put it in large font to read it. All because judges are trying to follow our nation's constitution and adhere to established law. While there has been success in the courts, we must do our part to stand up to injustice, discrimination, and theft of dignity from members of our community. So back to rebellion and resistance. Perhaps apropos. We must fight with our pens, with our voices, with our money, and only when those don't work, that's when we pick up the brick. Some might feel comfortable and protected here in West Hartford and Connecticut, but one election could change all of that. We very well could be banned from this very space next year. Not likely, but it's theoretically possible. We could be fighting the same battle that our counterparts in other states are waging. So what do? I already told you, we use our pen, we use our voice, and we use our dollars. We've seen what kind of success that can have. We support our community here, and we support them in other states. We support groups like Out Accountability and Act Up Connecticut. It's back in Connecticut. We must support our many pride organizations like ours, West Hartford Pride, so that they can offer safe spaces, resources, support, address food insecurity, provide for queer homeless, and fight to shore up and improve the laws and policies here in Connecticut so a family from Texas who are escaping oppression can truly feel welcome here. I'm going to read a quote. We struggle and we fight for our joy, an unreserved and unapologetic joy that springs from our ability to live as we are. It's a joy worth fighting for, and it's this joy that links all of our struggles together. That's Lady Phil, a British activist and politician. Only when we get nowhere, that's when we pick up that brick. And I want to just say that a lot of this is about joy. We're fighting for our joy. And I am hoping that all of you here today can enlist as many folks and allies as you can to help fight that war to preserve joy and to keep us whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. Oh, okay. Hi. Good evening, everyone. So as I mentioned, I'm Johanna Schubert. I'm proud to be co-chair of West Hartford Pride. Proud of us for celebrating 6 years, growing this festival year over year, and really living our mission to reflect the values of this community. So thank you again all for being here. I'm a social worker by training. My mom's a social worker. My sister's a social worker. And so for us, we were never without a conversation around feelings and belonging and building connections. And that has really become the priority for me in my life. So what I want to read for you today is just some brief remarks I wrote reflecting on the importance of community. I want to thank our mayor, the town council, the Chamber of Commerce, the Public Works Department, and everyone else in town who have been our partners along the way in helping make this event and our other events successful, safe, and embraced. That's one major part of the community that we couldn't do this without. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our elected officials, our amazing West Hartford delegation, Derek Slapp, Jillian Gilchrist, Kate Farrar, and Tammy Exum. They send their regrets tonight as right now they're at the Capitol sprinting towards the end of this legislative session. They wish they could be here with us and send their regards. So last weekend, I had the pleasure, other than my crippling host anxiety, which these people can all tell you about, of seeing my cousin Richard and his husband Brian. We got speaking about Pride, and I was humble bragging a little bit about this community, the support we have here in West Hartford. Richard, who's in his late 70s, mentioned to me that he was at the very first Pride in New York City. I asked him what made him want to attend that event, knowing the potential hostility that surrounded it. He told me that at the time he wasn't thinking about that for years he had been the only gay person in most spaces he was in that he knew about. The pull of Pride for him was the yearning to be in community with those who identified the way he did, to look around and not just be the only. He mentioned that he knew, also, that's where all the cute boys would be. And so, we find ourselves here again on the 2nd of June, looking just as my cousin did for community. Look around. We're here. We built something strong, and that's because of all of you and us together. We certainly have a long way to go, but today the Pride flag is flying above our town center. We look forward to seeing you at our events all month long and celebrating with us at the Pride Festival on Saturday, June 21st. We have an amazing lineup of speakers, and our 10:30 a.m. rally will blow your socks off by the day's performances. Thank you to our incredible volunteers. Again, we couldn't do this without you. Happy Pride, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you all month long. Thanks again, and thanks for being part of this beloved community.
So if you've been here before at our flag raising, we've always tried to include song and music in our event. This year I'd like to introduce Miss Bonnie Petit, who will be performing for us. Proud? You didn't change it on me?
I did change it.
Oh no! Feeling good. Okay. She changed it on me. So I'd like to introduce my friend, Miss Bonnie Petit.
It's flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new day for me, and I'm feeling good. Butterfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done. That's what I mean. It's all the world, the whole world. I Happy Pride Month, everybody! Okay, we're just gonna do this my way. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, a new life for us. And I'm feeling good. Thank you, guys.
I'm coming. You've got to run a show. I think we're introducing the Attorney General right now, right? Yeah. This very distinguished gentleman right over here. All right. All right. It's our distinct pleasure to introduce somebody who's been fighting for us, who is fighting for a lot of people, including us. But today we're going to talk about how he's fighting for you and me. So I'd like to introduce Attorney General William Tong.
I'll have to do this a cappella too. Thank you, Joanna and Barry and West Hartford Pride. Can we give the organizer a round of applause, please? So sorry I was a few minutes behind my call this afternoon with Democratic Attorneys General. We have Zoom calls frequently to talk about our fight against him. And so I was running a little long on that call, and then I had to run to Simsbury for Pride in Simsbury. But here, I'm glad to be home in West Hartford. When I was a kid, Brugger's was Sam's Army Navy, I think, when I was a kid. Was it? Yes. Okay. I was just trying to prove my West Hartford cred there for a second. So it's great to be with all of you. Let me just start by saying, Pride Month should be a month of joy and celebration, and let us remember how far we've come and celebrate that, how much work we've done in a very short period of time, and how much progress we've made. But let me put things in perspective. 20 years ago, this was a hard conversation to have. 20 years ago, a lot of us aren't here. 40 years ago, definitely none of us are here. I'm definitely not here. Well, I was in Whiting Lane School, actually. But this was a really tough conversation to have. And then 19 years ago, I was elected to the legislature with a state representative named Beth Bai. We're in the same class. And Beth has already heard these remarks this morning, so I'm do it again. But we were having, at that time, it's hard to believe, we were having a hard conversation about marriage equality. And people were struggling with the concept that love is love, and that families come in many different shapes and sizes and textures and compositions. And we had passed what now feels like a ridiculous half measure of civil unions. And we were trying to pass legislatively marriage equality, but we were struggling to get it done. And I learned about marriage equality from my seatmate and classmate and friend Beth, and her loving and committed relationship with Tracy, who we celebrated not long ago here. And thank you for not just your leadership, but Tracy's leadership in getting us to this point. So we were just freshmen. We had two gay men as the chairs of the Judiciary Committee, now Supreme Court Justice Andrew McDonald, and then State Representative and Chairman Mike Lawler, who's a professor now at UNH. And we didn't quite get there, and Beth Kerrigan of West Hartford took the fight to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court established marriage equality. And then we were like the cleanup crew. We got the job done and codified marriage equality after Kerrigan into state law. And then fast forward a couple of years, if you think the conversation about marriage equality was hard, the conversation about transgender rights at that time was really hard. Really hard. And if you ask, and he'll tell you, if you ask Andrew and Mike about that conversation, they will tell you they even struggled with it as two gay men. It was not easy for people to engage with all of the questions that people had. But fast forward a couple years from there, it was our honor, and it was my honor to be part of a generation of state legislators. I was one of the very first state legislators in this country. Connecticut was one of the very first states in this country to codify rights for transgender people and to pass a sweeping, comprehensive, non-discrimination law, which stands to this day. So I tell you that to remind you that Connecticut is, not was, is a leader. And it's going to stay that way. But there are, there's a war raging in America on all of us. And so many people in this country, immigrants, women, reproductive freedom, people that work for the federal government, people that run nonprofits, school bus drivers, so many people have a target on their backs. And all of us here have a target on our backs. And so we have to get in this fight every single day, and we have to stay in this fight. And so within 2 weeks of the president taking office for a second time, we challenged an attempted ban on gender-affirming care in Washington state, and we got a preliminary injunction stopping them. And we're going to continue to fight these attempted bans on gender-affirming care. There's now an attack on Connecticut towns and cities, including our neighbors in Cromwell and other towns and cities across Connecticut. It's complicated. There are no easy answers, but let me just say, as your Attorney General, we're very focused on it. We couldn't care about it more. We're going to do everything we can to stand with not just towns and cities, but students and transgender families and transgender and LGBTQ plus families across Connecticut. We're going to stay there and hang in with them in this fight. Let me just close with a thought. It's really hard right now, and a lot of people are getting hurt. But what gives me hope is looking at Beth, right, and looking at all of you and this incredible movement that has taken root in this town and across Connecticut. And I just want to say, in this war, we're winning. And we're going to win this war. Because there's this fight, this battle, this attack on diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. I translate that as an attack on all of us and our families, our very existence. And that fight, in large part, is over. Why? Because of demography, because people are having babies, because history has moved on. America is not going to suddenly become less diverse. We're not going anywhere. And we're not going to not have women leaders in our towns like Sherry Cantor and commissioners like Beth Bai, and we're not going to not celebrate and welcome LGBTQ plus families, and we're not going to stop empowering them and welcoming them to the workplace. That's what the Bostock case says, by the way. Thank you very much, Justice Gorsuch. Let me remind him that Bostock says that we don't discriminate against LGBTQ plus employees and workers in the workplace. So history is moving on. Diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging isn't a value. It's not an opinion. It's not a policy. It's a fact. It's a fact. That dam has broken. But But we're here today, and we got to be here every day, because the people that don't agree with us, they're fighting hard, and all they're going to accomplish, they can't stop it, but all they can accomplish is they're going to hurt a lot of people in the process. They're going to hurt a lot of people, a lot of families, and a lot of children. So today is a day for celebration. This month is a month for celebration, honoring and uplifting everybody in our community, including everybody here. But it's also our opportunity to say always that in this fight, I'm with you, you're with me. We will never quit on people. We are never going to surrender, no matter how much they try to bully us. And we are never, ever going to back down. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure to be standing beside Attorney General William Tong in this fight. There's no one we'd rather have standing with us. Thank you, sir.
I just want to share something real quick. Back in a post-election rally, we had a conversation with Lori. Where is Lori? I saw her. There she is. She's hiding. We had a conversation with Lori about the post-election rally not being the end, but being the beginning to something. And that conversation with Lori took root, and she took it back to Attorney General's office. And we've been meeting with him. And we've got a group of people, and I believe it's being expanded statewide. And it's basically boots on the ground reporting what they're seeing and what's happening. And basically, I'm not going to lie, it's the first time ever that something like this happened when I said, you know what I think? I think we should do this. And darned if they didn't do it. And I appreciate it. Thank you. So, this year's theme, what is it? It's a little quiz.
Stand your ground.
Okay, let me hear you all stand your ground. Stand our ground. Let me hear it. Stand our ground. Okay, say it with like 3, 2, 1.
Stand our ground.
All right, thank you. So, are you ready for the flag to go up? I think that's where we are, right? Okay. This is called I Didn't Print to Run a Show, so. But in any case, so we have our very dedicated public works guys, Jameson and Joshua. I told you I'd remember it. They're going to help us with the flag. Do we have any kids in the house? I see some kids back yonder. That tells you how old I am when I say yonder. So if the kiddos want to help with the flag, they can. Come on up. Do you want to help with the flag? Yeah? All right. Well, these gentlemen right over here are getting ready for it. And when they're ready for you, they'll let us know. Okay? Awesome. While they're doing that, let me hear, what was that theme again?
Stand our ground.
A little louder.
Stand our ground.
All right. Thank you. So, Jameson and Joshua, is it okay if the young ones come over and help you out? Whenever you're ready, just let me know and I'll come over. Okay, you guys can go. Are you Dad? Okay. If you want to take pictures, go for it. So we'll see if they did their homework and they put the colors upright.
Right on top.
Oh, there's an order?
Yeah. Like you see these ones sometimes, like President Trump once held up a flag and held the purple up top. So I gotta be right on top.
Can you guys help them hold it? Everybody grab the tip, yeah.
I wish you guys could see this. It's so cute.
Each color represents Mary. It's in your list, right? The colors that we represent.
No.
Is it in Joseph? Your speech.
No, it's in the proclamation.
All right.
Yeah, right.
So just in case, Jameson, red goes on top.
Underneath the flag.
Oh my God, that reminds me of the parachute in grade school.
They probably don't do that anymore.
That'd be a lawsuit.
Yeah, that too.
All right, here we go, folks.
Come on, Winn. Just the American flag is tangled in it.
Oh no.
We're all exactly. There's a metaphor there, yeah. Exactly. And that's it. Goodbye, everybody.
There it goes.
Did they? Yeah. Water.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, for reals this time. All right. Let's give Jameson and Joshua a little round of applause for helping us out and probably staying late today. Looks great, guys. All right, I think we've come to the close of our program today. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for coming out and supporting Pride. Like I said earlier, if you want to volunteer, come on over to the clipboard. I saw somebody start the clap and then stop. So remember, check out our website, which I'm told will be fixed today, and our Facebook page and Instagram, the other one, for all of our events.
Nice job, guys.
So thank you. Thank you for coming out.